hasn't David been arrested? September 8th of 2025, police officers were called to an impound lot on North Mansfield Avenue in Hollywood, California. There were reports of a foul odor coming from a car on the lot. Although he technically still was registered to the car, he had been on tour for multiple weeks and apparently had abandoned the car before that. September 17th, when the Los Angeles County Medical Examiner's Office was finally able to identify the body that was found in the back of David's car. And very unfortunately, it was the body of 14-year-old Celeste Rivas Hernandez. For those of you that...
Hold on, she dead at 14?
Mm-hmm. That Celeste was only 14 years old at the time of her passing, while David is currently 20 years old. One of the...
What's going on YouTube? It's your favorite podcast. Back at it again with another reaction. So, if y'all don't know, there was a new artist, kind of on the rise. He was in places like Fortnite, Invincible, and then everything just kind of went left.
For me, I never heard of dude until the case came out. Then they say he's an artist, and I go look up his music, and he got music that sound good. So it's crazy how I even found out about this dude. But
let's see what he got to say.
It's now been a month since a body was discovered in the back of singer David's Tesla in an abandoned impound lot in Los Angeles.
A gruesome discovery in a tow yard.
Authorities say they were called to an impound lot in Hollywood after someone noticed a foul odor coming from a car.
The woman's body stuffed into a Tesla and left for days or even weeks.
But Eyewitness News has learned the 2023 Tesla is registered in Hempstead, Texas to multi-platinum artist and musician David Anthony Burke, known professionally as David.
When the story first dropped, everyone assumed it was an
See, I didn't know that. I didn't know it was in Texas. I thought it was in California. No, like the body was found where? In California?
I think so.
I did not know the car was registered in Texas. And I think that's why, like, little stuff like that probably keep them from jumping, because it's like, you feel what I'm saying? You could have gave your car to somebody. But what you said earlier, whether if I gave it to somebody or not, a dead body, I'm going to the source of this fucking car.
And for anybody who doesn't know anything about this case, that's kind of where the majority of people are at. It's a body in your car. Other than that, he was on tour, so that's the reason why there wasn't a direct, and it's been an investigation. So that little snippet has been really what the masses has.
Fortunate coincidence.
I'm gonna say this right now. He didn't kill anybody, bro. He didn't kill anybody. There's no way.
But as new evidence came out, everything seemed to lead back to I even made this video on my channel, which has almost 800,000 views. So with all of this seemingly damning evidence, there's only one question on the minds of everybody. Why hasn't David been arrested? September 8th of 2025, police officers were called to an impound lot on North Mansfield Avenue in Hollywood, California. There were reports of a foul odor coming from a car on the lot. The smell was coming from a black Tesla that had only gotten into the lot a few days before. Although he technically still was registered to the car, he had been on tour for multiple weeks and apparently had abandoned the car before that. When the body was found, David was over 2,000 miles away from Los Angeles, somewhere in between Minnesota and Wisconsin stops on his tour. And the tour itself started all the way back at the beginning of August, meaning that he hasn't even been in the state of California since August 5th. So logically, people thought at first that he would have nothing to do with it. Well, at least that's what a lot of people thought, especially some of his online friends and acquaintances.
David, somebody, hey, I'm gonna say this right now. He didn't kill anybody, bro. He didn't kill anybody. There's no way.
He's not a murderer?
No.
Thank God, bro. Because I was still gonna listen to his music. I was just worried that I'd be an asshole if I did.
Everyone thought that David wasn't even connected to the person found in the trunk, and the main theory at the time was that a random person had put the body in the trunk. Another piece of evidence that led to this theory potentially being true is that another body was discovered in a trunk of a car in the same local tow yard.
And that breaking news is out of South LA for the second time in just 2 days. We're following the discovery of a body that was found in a car, this car right here, in a local tow yard.
The police haven't gone on record yet as saying whether or not these two bodies were connected, and that's kind of a theme throughout this entire story. The police and the city of Los Angeles have been incredibly quiet throughout the...
That's crazy.
Insane.
That's crazy. That's almost the shit Texas going with. I think it's Texas with
finding people.
They're just finding motherfuckers in the bayou.
Yeah.
Just finding them.
Yeah.
You feel me? So I get with everything that looks on David. This dude. I have no bone in this at all. But man, that sounds crazy right now, right?
Crazy out here for sure.
Two bodies within 2 days.
Crazy.
Entire ordeal, and we're going to talk about later in this video exactly why that is. And while the body was found and all this was going on, David continued to perform like nothing had happened. His team then released a statement saying, quote, David has been...
The way people use words is unfair. If all this is legit, don't say he's performing like ain't nothing happened.
Right.
There are people that have to do their job.
Right.
Regardless of how much money you think a motherfucker make. There are people that still have to do their job, and emotion does not work well with the job.
Right.
Do your job.
Right.
You feel me?
As easily as you say that he is performing as if nothing happened, it could also be him putting on his best performance while going through the crazy thing, but you don't word it like that.
Yeah.
Informed about what happened, and although he is still out on tour, he is fully cooperating with the authorities. Since he was acting so chill and continuing to perform and work with the authorities, the internet dropped the story. David kept touring and things went back to normal. At least that was until...
What's up with these stars on people's faces? Is that a thing? I used to think they hiding pimples.
It's okay. It's supposed to be just pimple patches. I definitely think some people wear it as fashion, but most of the time it's just pimple patches.
Okay.
September 17th, when the Los Angeles County Medical Examiner's Office was finally able to identify the body that was found in the back of David's car. And very unfortunately, it was the body of 14-year-old Celeste Rivas Hernandez. For those of you that...
Hold on. She dead at 14?
Mm-hmm.
Now I understand what you're saying. Even before this murder,
yeah, like
he should be picked up.
And so, I'm sure that he will go into detail, so I won't be long-winded. But this is kind of my biggest thing with the whole thing, because this beginning part of the video, a lot of confusion, a lot of loopholes and wiggle room. This right here is where it gets tricky for me, because the connection between him and this
young lady
right here was apparent, was very apparent, to the point where I would think
Celeste Rivas Hernandez.
Yes, this is where it gets tricky for me, but I wonder what else he has to say.
Watch my channel, you know that I chose not to say the victim's name in the first video, and that's because her family hadn't come out and made any official statements yet. Now that they have done that and made everything public, I do feel more comfortable saying her name, but I do want to remind you all to please be incredibly respectful of this family as they're going through this mourning process, and especially as they're trying to get justice for their very young daughter. According to a missing persons sign found by the internet sleuths, Celeste has been missing since April 5th of 2024. As the day went on, more and more information started to become leaked on social media, pointing to a potential romantic relationship between the two people. Keep in mind that Celeste was only 14 years old at the time of her passing, while David is currently 20 years old. One of the first things that people noticed is that David and Celeste had matching tattoos. They both had a "sh" tattooed on their right index finger, but this tattoo was popularized by Rihanna back in 2009, so it is possible that this is just a really odd coincidence. Other celebrities like Lindsay Lohan, Lily...
How old is she in 2009? Because I think in 2009, he's old enough to remember
2009, that's when she's born.
If she's... All this happened when? last year?
What?
Of this year, or this year?
This year.
She's 14 this year. In 2009, we were talking
like she's coming out, like she's born, or
how the fuck she even know this even a thing?
Yeah.
The Allen, Cher Lloyd, and
because I didn't really know that this was a trend. And when I seen the tattoos, I was like, matching tattoos, crazy. Even more evidence toward him. This bringing up this doesn't do anything. It doesn't.
Others all have this tattoo as well, so it's not really unlikely that two people would have the same tattoo, but this wasn't some kind of recent trend. It was more popular back in the early 2010s when Celeste would have been just a very young child, if not even born yet. In fact, Celeste wasn't even born when Rihanna got the tattoo in the first place, so this is definitely a piece of evidence to be looked at. However, this was just the start of the storm of evidence that would come out connecting the two people.
I'm not
the crazy part is
that they were saying it was, but then they were saying there was another girl that looked just like her that he was messing with, but they were saying it was. They were saying it was.
That most of the evidence came from David himself. And a lot of people were able to comb through every single one of his public posts that he had made since he uploaded in 2018. A ton of the evidence also came from David's Discord account. This is where a lot of people would discover screenshots that seemingly showed communication between David and a girl named Celeste. There were claims that Celeste had appeared in a live stream on David's Twitch channel. And although people didn't find evidence of this right away, eventually a clip resurfaced.
I media trained you. That's controversial.
It's controversial of kids.
Delete everything. Everything goes. Everything goes.
As you heard at the end of this video, David tells all of his mods to delete the evidence of the live stream ever happening. This was obviously suspicious. Others were stalking his TikTok, and some of the reposts were definitely concerning. Many of them were talking about hurting women out of jealousy. So yeah, obviously not a good look considering what the accusations against David are. On top of that, David's songs that he actually wrote himself and produced and published were somehow the most incriminating evidence of all. Two of David's most popular music videos ever, Romantic Homicide and Rehab, were both released on the same day as
This motherfucker pulling views like this?
Yeah.
I've never heard of this fucking dude until this freaking case.
Celeste's birthday. While this could just have something to do with release scheduling, the contents of these videos are also part of what's concerning. Both videos feature a blindfolded David as the main character, and they also have girls that have a strong resemblance to Celeste. On top of that, the girl that's in these videos end up dying at the hands of David. I certainly would not call this proof, but it is pretty strange that this happened not only once, but twice. And after being accused of being involved with the death of your partner, having lyrics in your songs about wanting to off them generally doesn't help your case. Another
as a person who enjoys quote unquote rap music, you get what I'm saying?
Right.
It's tough, man, not to. I'm a civilian. It's tough to not be like, hey, pay attention to his lyrics a little bit. You get what I'm saying? Like, it's tough not to do that when you got things like this out here. You feel what I'm saying? Like, it's tough, Rod.
one of the most obvious pieces of evidence that people were using was a song that was unreleased from David's discography called Celeste. While the song was never released, a version of the early song was uploaded to Twitter, and the words are a little bit concerning. I'm not gonna play the full song because I don't want the video to get copyrighted, but just reading the lyrics make me uncomfortable. She was only 12 or 13 years old at the time of David writing this song, while David was 18 or about to turn 19 years old. Again, this is really dark stuff, but do keep in mind that we are going to talk about some new information. As all of these connections were flooding in, the police decided to search a home near where David's Tesla was found in the middle of the night of September 18th. As it turns out, the home was being rented out by David himself. They were specifically seen leaving the house with digital devices and looking for anything like security camera footage or anything else from neighbors that could include some video of Celeste trying to connect her further with David. As all the information started started coming out, things became harder and harder for David to ignore. He couldn't go on and just play shows like nothing was happening, so his team decided to cancel all remaining tour dates as of September 19th. Following all
me and my son, my guy, we was talking and he was asking how I was feeling, and I'm confused because it's like, you giving a person enough time, they can connect misinformation and present it as factual or the truth when it's not. And not saying it's for this situation. I'm saying it because we in this media world where that everybody is just boom, boom, boom.
Trying to make a story.
Thank you. All right, thank you. So, I'm totally confused. Like I said, as a president, bro, I don't want people to be like, look at his lyrics and believe that this is. But you get shit like this, and how you weigh yes and no. It seems like it's always a gray area.
Yeah, because if you penalize people like David, then if we always did that, we could never have an Eminem.
Fire. Eminem is a fucking awesome example. I love Eminem to death. His mom's still alive and he talked about killing that motherfucker millions of times. You feel me? Never did none of his baby mom, all this stuff. Just having a creative mind in this world of being an artist. But man, it's just tough when you see things like this.
All of this information coming out on social media, people in Celeste's life began to speak out about how they knew about the relationship with David. On top of this, some anonymous sources who, quote, partied with David came out to say that they had seen Celeste and David before. Many of them were shocked to hear everything that was developing, since the couple had told them that Celeste was a student at USC. Everyone believed that she was around 19 years old and she had used fake IDs to try and pass herself off as an adult. David and his team moved out of the Hollywood Hills mansion that they were renting on September 24th.
The moving crew spent about 2 hours hauling away boxes and a red Tesla registered to David's manager.
While this move could just be pure coincidence, the timing is tricky. Once a person moves out of a house like this, it makes it a lot more difficult for the police to just go into the house, especially if it's being rented to somebody else. So if they happen to miss anything the first time around, the police might be out of luck in the future. And speaking of homes, there is some brand new evidence that just came out yesterday saying that David has transferred ownership of his 2 different homes in Houston, Texas to his mother. And apparently he did this back on September 18th and September 21st, shortly after Celeste was identified. And for those of you wondering why I'm bringing that up, it's because if David was eventually arrested for these alleged crimes, it would make things a lot more difficult as far as the government trying to seize his property, because now technically he isn't the legal owner of it. At this point, people began to wonder, why hasn't David been arrested yet? Based on the internet's evidence, it seems like an open and shut case. It boils down to the fact that the police need to make sure that they have an airtight case before they move forward with arresting David or anybody else who could have potentially hurt Celeste. And before they can have this airtight case, they need to find out the cause of death for Celeste. If she died accidentally or by a drug overdose or natural causes, that means that the form of death was not homicide. Even though somebody then hid her body, it would change the type of charges that this person gets if they weren't the one to actually hurt her in the first place. Right now, the police are waiting for the toxicology reports to come back and hopefully give investigators a more clear idea of what exactly happened to Celeste before she was found. If David is arrested before investigators gather enough evidence, the entire case could be thrown out. And on top of that, we don't know if there are other people involved in this case. David clearly knew Celeste, but that doesn't mean that he was the one that hurt her, and there could be somebody else in David's circle who found out what was going on and chose to do something something about it. Again, these are all just theories and accusations developed by the internet, and I urge you guys to wait until the police come out with some form of statement regarding what actually happened. While researching the story, I came across an insane amount of alleged evidence. If some of this fake evidence made it into police hands and they thought it was real, it could completely delegitimize their case and harm any trial that could ultimately end up happening. And this is exactly why police haven't arrested David. They have to take days and potentially weeks or months going through all the electronics they confiscated and verifying all of the information that people are leaking online. They have to go through endless chat logs, photos, and video recordings for anything that could possibly relate to the case. And now in 2025, they have to worry about what's AI generated and what's not. All of this weird engagement bait is just the worst use of social media, and I wish people took more time to actually cover the case properly if they're going to make a video about it. So although clickbait is the unfortunate reality of the internet, it's also our responsibility as content creators to use it as ethically as possible. This isn't like your favorite streamer making up fake drama with their friends to clip farm. This is a real life story with real life consequences. Anyways, that's everything that I wanted to cover in this video. So my prayers go out to Celeste and her family, and I hope that they're just able to get justice and get a resolution to this case so they can find some small version of peace in this terrible, terrible situation.
Yes, prayers to everyone involved.
Yeah, man, crazy.
This is a very crazy case. Especially in today's time, like I said, with the internet, AI, and all of those elements combined. Where are y'all at with David? Where are y'all at with this situation?
How you feel? What you think?
How you
feel when everything points to you? Do you feel you should be locked up right then and there? Let me know what you think.
At this point, man, I feel like they're just waiting. It seems like all they need is the autopsy. I guess it's taking a while because of the decomposition. So I definitely think a lot of things will change once they get that figured out. But yeah, I mean, this is insane. If he did do it, that's wild. That's crazy. And if he didn't, who did?
Yes.
Who did?
That's the question. That's the main one. We need an answer.
So, what are we? Maybe month, possibly even 2 months in, and we are basically where we started at. We don't know nothing. So, if any more developments come about and y'all want us to watch it, y'all want our 2 cents on it, let us know down in the comment section. But if you haven't, like, comment, and subscribe.
If you ain't done it, man,
what the hell are you doing? We'll catch y'all in the next one. Peace.